Welcome back to the PWC channel. We have another match in our off-season tournament, and this one is very exciting to me, at least, because it is my old pal Julez, the owner and founder of the league, and also the winner of the, I think, first two seasons that I've not been around, or even first three, I don't know. But yeah, he's an OG, and he's definitely a good player, and he makes his return for this off-season, and he's facing off with nickinator 13, aka Reggie Alecki, a PWC legend in his own right. He's known for his fast-paced playing style and his love of Reggie Alecki, and he's also known as the Freeze Master. He got, like, I think he had a legendary match in season 6 or 5 where he froze his opponent 3 times with tri-attack. That's what sticks in my mind, at least. And so let's look at the matchup here. We have a Lantern, Sylveon, Melmetal, Kecleon, Gligar, and Latios for Julez. And for the Nickinator, we do have Snorlax, Alolan Executor, Florges, Tentacruel, Blacephalon, and Muk-Alola. So both these guys do have rather bulky teams with one offensive threat mostly. This would be Latios for Julez and Blacephalon for the Nickinator. The rest of the both of squads are rather bulky. And Julez is known for this kind of playstyle, so this might take a while as well, this game, so I'm just gonna let them know I'm ready. Yeah, Julez is known for taking his time both in prep and also mid-match, so he might think a long time for every turn. And in addition to that, he also likes to play slow-paced teams with lots of bulk. So yeah, this might take a while. And yeah, so Nick seems to have a rather bulky team as well this time. So yeah, I'm excited to see what will happen here. And looking at it, the Lantern seems like it could be very useful for Julez because it is able to take hits from Blacephalon pretty well, I would think, and it is it will also be able to volt switch around freely because there are no ground types on Nickinator's squad. So yeah, that's gonna be nice for him, and he also gets the nice lead matchup. But then again, Tentacruel might as well run Toxic Spikes, which, looking at it, the only defogger. I mean, he has Gligar and Latios for the defog, so yeah, that's nice. And yeah, so we see the first Volt Switch. That's definitely not gonna be the last one. He's gonna get a lot of momentum with this Lantern in the match. And let's see what comes in on him. Oh, Gligar, that's surprising. Now that's pretty much a free knockoff. Nick will probably, I would think, take this opportunity. This one hit KOs with an EQ, so that's very surprising. This must be a sort of offensive Gligar. That's very interesting. That's very cool as well. So either this was a huge miscalculation by Nick, or this is indeed a offensive Gligar, which you can run Gligar offensive, obviously, as you can Gliscor. So yeah, that's a very nice early twist. I did not expect that in the slightest. Because yeah, I was thinking the knockoff is pretty tempting for Nick, and that's also why he stayed in. So this was a very good bait by Julez. Very, very nice. Showing that he still got it. As we see the Fat Boy enter the match. Wonder what Fat Boy is gonna do. If this is some sort of bandit Gligar, a Snorlax is probably not gonna appreciate the hit himself, but yeah, probably not gonna get to it KO'd because Snorlax is indeed a pretty fat boy, so he can take a hit or two usually. And looking at it, I mean, what are Julez's other answers? So he could probably go into Melmetal, I think. But yeah, depending on the Snorlax set, if he sets up a curse right here. Alright, so 16% from a U-turn. Yeah, that looks like a lot of damage. I would not expect it to do that much to a Snorlax. Obviously we don't know the spread, but 16% from a Gligar U-turn on Snorlax? Yeah, this must be offensive. probably adamant. A very interesting set. I'm excited to see what if Julez is gonna post his sets after the match. But yeah, so he could have Ice Punch, I believe. Snorlax, yeah, but he's probably gonna set up a curse. That's what I was expecting, and he does not carry leftovers, so we are likely to see the Resto Chesto here eventually. And he can set up another curse now, but even then I think Melmetal, or he goes into Latios. Now that is interesting. So this must be another weird set, what? Because so he's got the trick. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, so Julez is outplaying Nick heavily here. So yeah, I didn't know if this was a restricted Latios because I haven't looked at the teams prior to this. So this, the tier lists tend to be kind of crazy in this PWC sometimes, so this could have been a Mega Latios as well, but yeah, it is a regular Latios with Scarf. So in that case, yeah, this was pretty much honestly to be expected when you switch it into a Snorlax, because normally you would expect Snorlax to counter Latios if anything. But yeah, Nick did stay in and he loses his Snorlax as a big threat, which, yeah, that definitely sucks for him. And now let's see, Julez keeps up the momentum with the baton pass here. Does not allow a switch into the wish. Yeah, so Julez is pretty much getting the better of every exchange so far. He's playing at a very high level, showing that he is back in full force. I wonder how it happened that he dropped down to losers, because I know that he's not in winners anymore. And if he played like this, it's hard to imagine how it happened. He might even challenge for the title in that case. Alright, there goes the Lantern, which will be another Volt Switch. As I said before, this is gonna happen a couple of times. There's not much Nick can do about it. And there we are gonna see the Melmetal probably getting off a huge hit, or even Latios. But if I had to guess, it's probably gonna be Melmetal, because Latios gets walled by Floor Chest pretty well, especially seeing as this was a Scarf set, so it's not gonna be a weird Calm Mind Psyshock trap for the Florges. But he doesn't even go into Melmetal, probably fearing the Flamethrower. And he's instead gonna go into Sylveon and probably gonna just Baton Pass. Oh no, he's gonna Hyper Voice. Oh well. Yeah, but he could just go back into Lantern if he wanted. Or even, I mean, Sylveon is a bulky girl, so even though this is a male Sylveon apparently. Which, by the way, Sylveons, even though they don't look that way, they are like 90% male in-game, so that's something to keep in mind. Julez keeping true to the in-game logic by bringing a male Sylveon. And yeah, he's probably gonna go into Lantern, yeah, as I suspected. Wow, 15% from a Scald? What the hell? Why is everything doing so much damage? I'm confused. My damage, my feeling for damage is way off by taking a long break, apparently. Unless this is an offensive Tentacruel. Oh well. He's gonna get another Volt Switch off. If Nick has a Sludge Bomb, he might try and weaken this Lantern so that Blacephalon can potentially, if it is Scarfed, maybe later in the game sweep with Flamethrower, possibly, maybe, I don't know. Because he's not gonna get anywhere with Shadow Ball. He's alright. So for some reason he expected Julez not to go for the Volt Switch, which is weird to me. But yeah, let's see what he does. This is probably gonna be a knockoff if I had to guess from Julez. There's really no reason not to go for it. Unless this, yeah, even then he can check if the Alolan Executor has the Z move, which I don't even know if it has the Z. If this is Nick's Z captain, but it might be. And yeah, let's see it. He goes for Shadow Sneak. Which is probably better. Yeah, I didn't think that. Think about Snorlax having the choice scarf. So yeah, it was definitely the better play not to go for knockoff. Julez once again making a good play. And yeah, this Darkest Lariat. Alright, now he chooses to take a lot of damage on Kecleon from this Snorlax for really no reason, which this is the first play I would say that I don't really agree with, because he has the Gligar, which he can always switch into on Snorlax. But he did not elect to do that, so this means that Kecleon, once Kecleon drops, this Blacephalon might still be a threat if it's Scarfed with Shadow Ball, but we shall see. But yeah, Julez being Julez, he also has the Wish on Sylveon. So yeah, he could still wish it back up. It's really just, I'm really just looking for ways for Nick to bring this back, and the only way I can see is by Julez misplaying a little bit and then Nick getting a Snowball Blacephalon sweep, which, yeah, that's kind of what Blacephalon does a lot of the times. If it gets going, it gets going, so he shouldn't let Lantern and Kecleon get also weakened, so that's why I disagree with the staying in on Snorlax. Oh well. Here we have the prime wish users, fairy wish users in the game, facing off with each other. Florges and Sylveon, and yet again another specially defensive wall is getting weakened a little bit more, so yeah, maybe the Shadow Ball sweep might become a possibility after all later in the game if Kecleon drops. Alright, so we see a substitute Melmetal, which, like every Melmetal in draft, is substitute. That's always the case. And apparently Nick, I mean, it looks like Nick didn't really um, didn't really try that hard in team building, so a lot of mons just dropping on the first hit, which is weird to me. But yeah, there goes the Blacephalon, and now he can choose if he wants to predict the Lantern and click Shadow Ball for, or if he just wants to click Flamethrower. He should count on Julez misplaying here and click Flamethrower, maybe hoping that Julez sacks the Kecleon now, which would leave the door open for a potential backdoor Shadow Ball sweep, because that's pretty much the only hope he has at this point. Because he's in range for one Scald. Alright, he goes for Shadow Ball instead. Interesting, yeah, so this is just allows Julez to go into Kecleon now, because if he's not Scarfed, he's also not a threat, because Latios can always revenge it. And yeah, if he is Scarfed, then obviously he can just go into Kecleon now. But he doesn't have to. Yeah, he does that. I can understand why. So maybe if Florges Moonblast kills, nah, but it doesn't. Alright, he goes back into Sylveon. Interesting. Now we will see a Flamethrower probably. Yeah, he's making aggressive doubles now because he realizes that Blacephalon is the only way to win. Oh, 34%. Wow. Alright, that's pathetic. Yeah, so this is definitely not damage boosted, so it's probably a Scarf one. And that means that he can't really break through this Sylveon, and this game is pretty much over, so it's gonna be a 6-0 in all likelihood. And let's just hope that it Julez can make quick work of it. But he's probably gonna wish a couple more times. Please don't switch, please just stay in and do damage. Because Nick is not the kind of player to drag out the match longer than it needs to be, I think. Or is he? Yeah, he can't really win, I don't think. Seeing as... Alright, there goes the Melmetal, and we will see another kill finally. With the... Oh, he goes for sub. Oh well. Not really necessary, but there you go. Can just go for double Iron Bash. There's nothing that Nick can switch into it. The Blacephalon will definitely die, even though it resisted. And I don't think the Executor will be able to take it either. Yeah, this should be pretty much GG. Melmetal doing some work, you love to see it. I have been growing fond of Melmetal late in my draft league career. It's actually a really cool mon, even though it kinda is limited to these substitute sets a lot of the time. I mean, it's not limited to it, but it's just the best option most of the time, so there we go. Let's see if Julez... Knowing Julez, he's probably gonna switch out now, not wanting to risk the 6-0. No, he doesn't, because he has Ice Punch. Alright, nice. Very nice game, very well played by Julez. Congrats, that was a strong performance, definitely. And Nick, that's a shame, but yeah, it happens. Julez is a very good player. And yeah, so with that being said, Julez moves on, and we shall see another day in this off-season tournament. Guys, see you in the next one.